everyone, and welcome to Unknown Developer. So today we're going to look at more Unknown Developer games. I've also decided from this episode onward, if there are sound files that have transcripts, rather than me reading the entire transcript, I'll play the audio and then put the subtitles up, essentially, for each bit. So you'll get a black screen with some yellow text, because I love the yellow text, but you'll have some yellow text basically transcribing what's being said rather than me going through and reading them again, which should hopefully save a bit of time with me talking, and you have to listen to me talk for 20 minutes straight. So it should slice things up a bit more nicely. So again, this one is On the Edge, so I'm going to remind you, go have a go at On the Edge first, have a quick playthrough, see what you can find yourself, and then we'll come back and talk about it. Links in the description, so go do that. So, hello everyone. I hope you enjoyed On the Edge there. But what we're going to do now is we're going to look at the usual stuff on the Edge. So, we have On the Edge, this is the thumbnail, it seems to be an image of the whale, the On the Edge has shadowing in the background, and it's a whale in the middle of a field. Possibly the same thing in the painful box, who knows? Double perversion, ... is the tagline. It's a visual novel. Now, I just want you to note that it was, when it first came out, it was originally an adventure game. Changed to a visual novel at some point. Don't know the exact timing, but it was changed from adventure to visual novel. Is all you need to know there. And it's for the Windows platform, obviously. So let's actually have a look at what's in the game now, or well, what's in the actual page of the game. So we have On the Edge, this is the banner. It's essentially the same as the thumbnail, except stretched out slightly more. So what we have is a screenshot as well, which is exciting. So, tips for the newcomers. This is not a screenshot. That messy thing on the right side is my face. I don't like screenshots. I don't take screenshots. Don't ask for screenshots. This is one of my tiny executables. I've seen people calling them games. What a silly name. I like games, though. I make games, not games. So be gentle and don't call them games. They're not even close to games. This one is called On the Edge. This is its name. Play with this game. It will play with you. Like a double perversion. Interesting. Very interesting. So, again, let's read the description of the game that UD has provided. On the Edge. Well, Jake and Melissa, what else can we say? Sometimes you gotta live on the edge, and dangerous things can happen. Let me tell you a secret. We're just like one long tangled scarf. Life is scary. We're constantly wrapping up a scarf around our perversions. And this can be scary too. It can be, but it doesn't have to. Jake and Melissa are, well, just another strand in this colourful scarf. But a strand is different from the others. It's like when you're out, hunting with your friends and the night sets in. Suddenly, the cold air freezes your hands. You quickly put them in your pockets, but just when they're getting warm, your neck starts freezing up. Wrapping up a scarf around your neck would now be the best thing to do. And you do that, despite your hands getting cold again. Now think about it. What neck could be colder than one caught in a gust of perversion? Jake and Melissa are wrapping up their strand around one very cold neck. Their lives are ready to approach the edge. They're there to face the threat. Very interesting. Okay, so we introduced Jake and Melissa for the first time in this game officially. Got a mile, I'm just going to have a quick swig. But yes, Jake and Melissa are characters who are very prominent in the rest of the games, and this is our first actual encounter with them. Okay, as per usual, we have the Unknown Developers apparel store and a letter underneath that. So let's have a quick look at what the letter could be. The letter it's a K. Oh, so we got THESTORK, the stork so far. Very interesting. So now let's go and look at the more information. So updated December 28th, 2017. Okay, published on April 9th. Cool. Released, it's for the Windows platform by Unknown Developer, obviously. It's a visual novel and adventure, so the genre still remains here. As you can see, it's got an adventure tag, but only one genre remains on the front, I think. So, again, that's kind of just assisting us in knowing that adventure was its original genre. Average session is a few minutes, which is pretty true, because there isn't much more to the game other than watching the visual novel unfold. English, keyboard, both correct, and then subtitles and high contrast, both fine. So let's look at the tag. So we have 2D, true, atmospheric, yep, crime, yeah, there's a crime, I guess, and she does get murdered. Dark, erotic, horror, mystery, secrets, and weird. So there's really no weird tags other than crime, which we haven't had before, that's why it's a bit weird, but it's pretty obvious how crime relates. So there's no weird tags in terms of this game. Anyway, there is a community post on this, what I've gathered, and he's just telling us, hey, there's some shit which we found and we'll talk about, but this isn't really relevant, I just thought I'd point out because it's there. By Thanos85 too, and it looks like a baby Thanos. That's great, fantastic. Anyway, the game, the suggested price is $2. As per usual so far, nothing weird there. It's an 8MB game. The EXE is April 10th, 2017. Just pointing out, one day after the official page uploaded. So this is a download instructions, longest one we've had so far, so we'll quickly have a read. Download the file called ontheedge.exe. Open the folder where you put your downloads. Find the file called ontheedge.exe. Move the file called ontheedge.exe to a more suitable location, like your desktop, for example. Now be careful. Take a deep breath and prepare yourself to click on the file called ontheedge.exe. You gotta do that 2 times, 2 in brackets, repeatedly and very fast. If everything went right, now you'll see a square filling up with some kind of colour, usually green, based on your operative system version. Don't panic, just wait until it's completely filled with the aforesaid colour. When the square will be full, the screen will change accordingly to the content concocted by unknown developer. Enjoy the experience with every part of your body involved in the feeling perception process. So it's very explicit instructions on how to open the game and use the .exe essentially, which is exciting to say the least. So now I'm just going to quickly download the game so we can have a look at what the .ini file is. So give me 2 seconds. So this one is called where.ini. Now where.ini, well, it could be where as in where is this taking place, which is my fault. Where is this where is this game actually taking place? Because with the other ones we have no idea. Like NY is in New York, you know, but we don't really know where any of the games take place. But this one has a very explicit location, and it's about the location. It's about the well, because the well does appear in later games as well. So knowing where the well is could be essential to something. Could be a bit of important trivia to note. So where.ini, that's the ini file for this game. So now we are going to have a look at what we've actually found in this game, which is exciting. So I'm going to go through the transcript. I'll play the audio files and then I will subtitle them so you can kind of make them out for yourself. So enjoy that.
Jake, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Please help me.
Fuck you.
No, fuck me.
Melissa, are you there?
Come closer. Touch me.
Help me. Ouch. Something broke my skull.
It was a rock.
Kiss me.
Where?
Anywhere.
Anywhere.
Everywhere.
What are you doing? Get me out of here. There's blood in my eyes. I can't see anything. I'm dying.
Okay, so now let's have a look what we've actually found in the game, other than those. I did put some stuff in brackets, because that's kind of interesting. So there is one thing to note, there is an owl howling in the background of the last few lines, along with the kissing and breathing and stuff. You have owl in the background, which someone found on the Discord named Dill, @Dill on Discord, found that. So very useful because owls do play an important role. They're in the symbol in other games as well. So On the Edge really start to bring in lots of symbols and elements from other games. The well, Jake and Melissa, owls. When we get into it, you'll see the eyes and perception play an important role too, although we did see eyes in a previous game. Can't remember for the life of me what it was, but I do remember we had the idea of perception eyes in a previous game. So this game really is introducing a lot of elements and bringing some elements back that are important. So let's now look at what we've actually found in the game. Let's have a look at what voices we heard, because there's 3 voices in this game. There's Jake's, there's Melissa's, and there's the woman in the well. So if I load up Discord now, we'll have a look. So in On the Edge, we have the woman in the well is Sue, who we haven't had a Sue yet. Sue's a new one. We have Jess, who plays Melissa. Now Jess is the same voice we hear in Don't Play This Game. Okay, so it may sound like the woman in the well kind of doesn't talk properly and stuff, but she's not the same voice. Melissa, the woman with the guy, the one on the left, I believe, talking with Jake, is Jess, who we've seen in Don't Play This Game, which is interesting to note. And then we also have Jake is voiced by William. So William is a new one as well. So Sue and William are new. Jess we've had in Don't Play This Game only. So important to note that. So I believe that generally the voices are consistent. So when we hear a voice, it's for that character. So I would say that Melissa is the character in Don't Play This Game as well. So those are the voices for the game. Good. 2 new ones, William and Sue. So keep those in mind because they do come back. The banner for the game, I think they've just kind of lightened it up and stuff. We can see some weird clues. Now these clues are, under the on we have the word who. Under the word da we have an M, the letter M, and underneath the E in edge we have an I. Okay? So I'm showing you this picture. It's a bit hard to see, so you may have to squint a bit, but they are there. If you look around the well, you can see 4, 6, 7, 7, 6, 7 in red around the well. So kind of going clockwise around the well, you can see that. And then the other thing is you can see this line and then it's showing an image of UD's face. You cannot really see it in this image, but there is a closer image that actually makes it a bit clearer. You can see UD's face a bit clearer. You can also see the eye underneath the edge there. So those were drawn in red, and you can see the 6, 7 on the well as well. So they were just outlined in red in the previous image, so you can see them a bit better, but if you actually do zoom in, they are clearer if you lighten the image or brighten the image. So as you can see in this little trapezium shape, there's UD's face. It's not amazingly clear, but it is there, and it is pretty clear that it has been put in this image. So if we have a look at the starting image now, so the actual starting image of the game, you brighten it and you can see who, the word who, the letter M, and then an image of an I. So who am I? Again, I don't really know who this is relating to. It could be the woman in the well, or it could be Melissa. My theory is that the who am I is referring to Melissa, who seems to have sort of an identity crisis throughout these games. She doesn't really understand who she is, because she seems to be some sort of test subject. So my assumption is the who am I refers to Melissa and her own feelings of trying to figure out who she is or what she is, rather than the woman in the well. Although at this point in the games, it's like, oh, who are any of these people? So the who am I could be the audience's confusion. But I think it's more likely referring to Melissa trying to figure out who she is in later games, which we'll discover, but that's just a quick theory. Now, the last thing I want to show you is the picture of the well. This is where the image of the well came from. This is the actual image of the well that UD has used, and it comes from Pixabay, which is where he got his Weird Women, and he got the image of the books and stuff. Sorry, I'm scratching my beard. But yeah, so Pixabay is where he gets a lot of his images, and this one's just a fountain, old stone wall round Middle Ages. So those are the tags. So this is kind of Googled like a well. And yeah, so that's where he got the image from, Pixabay, where he gets a lot of his images from. So that's everything from this game. It's not a massive game in terms of what there is, but it's interesting because it introduces a lot of elements that will become more consistent and kind of interesting as the games go on. So I'll leave you with that. I'm going to edit this on the edge together, and if there's a bit more time, we might move on to the next game. But if not, we'll get to the next game eventually. So that was On the Edge. Keep in mind the voices of Jess, Sue, and William because they do come up in later games, and keep in mind some of the recurring elements like 4677 and the eye images of eye, the eye imagery, and Melissa and Jake are very important. So just keep all that in mind and try to keep it in mind as these videos go on.
Jake, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Please help me.
Fuck you.
No, fuck me.
Melissa, are you there?
Come closer. Touch me.
Help me. Ouch. Something broke my skull.
It was a rock.